Okay, morning. So, as per standard YouTube fare, didn't film a great deal over the weekend, and I haven't even uploaded the video that I filmed on Friday. So, yeah, same old, same old. Sorry about that. So, this is Patsy now with Saturn. So she's our 1969 early bay. Where's neutral? Already in first. No power steering. So she may be a little bit noisier than Daisy was. So again, we'll see how this pans out once we'll take it for a little spin. So we've done a bit of work inside. She's a bit noisier than she should be as well, because it's stripped out literally everything on the inside. So all the carpets are gone, floor, it was covered in all that fake fur which we hated, so that's all gone. So she's probably a bit noisier than she should be, so it might mean that this video is a waste of time, but you know, we'll find out. So she's going to be a hire van, and we've basically don't have any got all the rubbish and stuff from the inside of her out. Excuse me. And we've got the floors up, which are just chipboard, hardboard. We've got the sides off. Had a look at any sort of rust we weren't aware of, which thankfully there isn't much on the outside. There are a few bits on the sorry, there isn't much on the inside. There are a few bits on the outside which I've just sort of, really because of the weather and the time of year, and because I don't have anywhere to work inside, I'm just going to have to try and stop them from getting any worse. So there's quite a large bubble on the sliding door which you're taking care of. And by taking care of, I mean I've just ground the area back to clean metal, rust treated that, and then just painted some Hammerite anti-rust paint over the top, just to be just to kind of give it some protection, because I just feel like really all I can do now is prevention, rather than, I can't really cure at the moment because it's a bit cold to paint, it's a bit cold for filler. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So did a bit of that. I was supposed to film it, obviously didn't film anything because I'm a terrible YouTuber. And we've laid some dodo mat strips in the very back to try and add a bit of sound deadening, which will help once the wood goes down. So yeah, all in all, she was actually not too bad. We've done a few little jobs, so like there was a problem with one of the windows had fallen through and things like that, so I've done a few bits and pieces like that. But no, she drives pretty good. But the gearbox, although it's the original stick, so when you accelerate like that, the old GoPro goes for a little journey. So yeah, she's got a little bit of poke to her, which is all right, I think. So yeah, I've got some fairly big plans, but it's just sort of budget and stuff like that. So I think she may well end up going out first season as pretty much as she is, obviously with our new interior insulated and stuff, obviously just to make her more comfortable to use. But yeah, she's good. We picked her up for a really good price, so we've got a bit of room in the budget. The only problem is sort of blue. Well, I say blue. We gave the rest of the budget to my daughter's boyfriend, so he could buy half of his camper van that he couldn't get the money for. So yeah, that's that. But anyway, yeah. So she needs a bit of engine work, a bit of a tune-up, a bit of a service. There's a couple of little niggly bits. There's a particularly bad bit, right corner, near side corner, which is just lifted up, sort of through the paint. There's yeah, just a few little bubbles really. This door, yeah, the window winder on this door, or the window runner on this door, I should say, right. So I'd rotted completely out, and it had dropped the glass. So the glass had fallen into the bottom of the door, and obviously with the lady we bought it from, stored in a barn most of the time, but while it was being looked at for sale, she had it outside and she just had a tarpaulin in the window, and there was, she used it as a like a bedroom or a caravan, I suppose. Somebody to sleep in her pie, and happened to be a really wet weekend, and obviously I'm assuming these poor people still slept in it, but it yeah, there was just the amount of rain that came in. I mean, when I picked her up, the window was down, and it chucked it down with rain. I got absolutely this side of my body got absolutely soaked. So it means the bottom of this door is now, you know, a little bit more like rotten than it needs to be. And it's just unfortunate that they didn't bother to, because they're taking the door skin or like pretty much off. They just didn't bother to prop the window up. So we initially, just as a temporary, we propped the window up with a bit of wood, which, you know, didn't take 5 minutes. But we managed to get the parts quite easily, and now that works, so the window goes up and down on the winder. But yeah, it's just caused a bit of unnecessary damage to the door. It's a bit unfortunate. So, but yeah, she's been nicely lowered. She's still on wide 5s, which is 969. A couple of tyres are a little bit, they've got a good tread, but they're just where they've been sat, they're a little bit cracked. So they'll probably have to be replaced ASAP, really. But I'm just trying to get her running, trying to get the brakes, some Kingsworks out of braking system and bits and pieces. But yeah, I'm really enjoying her. You know, she's nice to drive. She's got these comfortable seats. I don't know where they've come out of, but they're nice. They're full electric, but nothing's wired in. But I'm not going to bother wiring those in. This is the passenger door. Passenger seat is capped in, so that spins all the way around. So we'll try and keep that as a feature when we build the little kitchen unit. So yeah, hopefully it'll work out pretty well. She's doing all right. She's enjoyable. And as a classic, I mean, you know, I didn't really know what to do with her, because we've got one that's got to go off and have some work done, called our son, and we've got one that's and obviously we've got a few more outside the house now, so it's a little bit iffy. But yeah, man, classic insurance, limited miles, and then obviously she's tax and an MOT exempt, so yeah, I'm happy that she's safe and she is drivable and roadworthy, because she's had so much work done to her over the years. So when I taxed her, she came up as being MOT exempt, so that all happened at the same time. And then insurance less than £150 a year, and that's with an agreed valuation. So if anything happens to her, I'm guaranteed to get like market value for her. There'll be no negotiation of what they think she's worth compared to what I think she's worth. So yeah, man, you know what I mean, talk about, I know she'll be a little bit more expensive on petrol, although fuel gauge is still a little bit unreliable. Although one bonus we found is that the previous guy, because he was a mechanic, apparently he was a Honda mechanic, cut a little hatch in the rear body panels under the seat, and he's got a little access hatch there so you can get to the fuel sender, because I don't even know anything about these vans, but notoriously difficult to get to the fuel sender because the fuel tank sits behind the engine. So generally, if you want to get a tank out, you've either got to take the engine out, although I have done it once by just lowering the engine down. But yeah, it's all so far so good. I'm a little bit reluctant to sort of advertise her as a high van at the moment, because she's got a little bits of bodywork, but she's got so much character. I put a quarter length roof rack off of Velma on her for the time being, because obviously, oh bloody hell, oh, 1 second, because Velma's going to be off to have some work done, so it seems pointless for her to have the roof rack sat on her roof while she goes off and has that done. So I've stuck that on there, so that looks really cool, and she's got like a nice white stripe down the middle, which looks really cool, and she's a little like chrome, little chrome strip on the window, on the grille on the front. I say these, yeah, she's just got a nice light, nicely done, you know, nicely lowered, and with the low pros on her, she drives alright. nice bit. It's not like rock hard bone shaker. She's yeah, she's decent. So yeah, all in all, can't be happy with her at the moment. I mean, I just want to keep her going. But yeah, obviously, if you're interested, if anyone out there is interested, or if you have anybody who's interested in hiring her, you know, we're not really going to modernise her that much. It is going to be that authentic kind of 60s camping experience. We're going to try and keep things as kind of rustic as we can in terms of the interior, and so if that's the sort of thing you're experiencing, or if you want her for a wedding or, you know, prom or anything like that, then again, she'll be available. Hopefully, she'll be ready by spring for hire. She should be in that state where we're happy to hire her out. So yeah, I think I'll sign this one off now. Try and get these both up in the next day or so, and yeah, we'll just keep them coming. And then this is starting to work really well. You know, I am denied. I've had a couple of the cheap action cameras for a while, which were all right. You know, they were the better ones among the sort of cheap end stuff. That's what I've done really with a lot of my YouTube stuff was. Blimey. Easy on the gas, man. Yeah, that's what I've done with a lot of my YouTube stuff really, is gone down a sort of, you know, the budget route, because obviously I didn't know 100%, and I'm still, you know, we're still getting to grips with it now, but